So here we go again. Welcome to another episode of That Away Day Spirit. Thanks to everyone who's liked, subscribed, commented, and for making donations, all that kind of thing. Really appreciate it. Today's episode comes from Maryhill. Actually, not actually arrived in Maryhill yet. I'm in the city centre of Glasgow, back in my old stomping ground. Yeah, no Perth, no Tayside today. Yeah, down in the big smoke. So, where am I? Gallery of Modern Art, a free tourist attraction. So you got your Queen Street station just up there. That's where you get the train to Maryhill from. Just a few minutes. Right in front of it, you've got George Square. You can't actually sit in George Square at the moment because the Glasgow City Council have decided to spend £20 million to turn George Square from looking alright to looking alright. So yeah, that'll probably be finished soon, but yeah, look at the size of that there. Don't know what to make of that. Right, so yeah, the Gallery of Modern Art in Glasgow. It became the Gallery of Modern Art in 1996, but the building was actually built in the 1770s by one of the kind of tobacco lords. It then became a library. It then became one of these kind of trading offices for when Glasgow was one of the big cities in the British Empire. A lot of people say it's the second city of the empire, but I think Liverpool dispute that. Then it became a library again. Then it became the Gallery of Modern Art in 1996. It's actually still a library down the stairs, actually. Glasgow City Council Library. But yeah, it's free. You can go in there, or if you don't want to go into the Gallery of Modern Art, you can go and put a cone on the top of the Duke of Wellington. You can climb up and do what all Glaswegians seem to have an obsession with doing: stick a cone on it. Could hear y'all asking, are you going to go up, stick a cone on a horse's teat? So I'm from Edinburgh, eh? We don't partake in things like that. unless you're feeling the tray or something. Right, yeah, Merchant City, right. Go down this street here. This is the Merchant City, which is a really, really nice part of the city centre of Glasgow. Why are the buildings in the Merchant City also grand? Fire alarm there, must be a vape shop. So why are all these buildings so grand in the Merchant City? Why is this building so grand? Well, yeah, tobacco lords, folk that made a lot of money off the slave trade, all that kind of thing. All kind of built around about the late 1700s, early 1800s. But yeah, I mean, if you're coming to a game in Glasgow and you want something to do, yeah, Gallery of Modern Art, it's free, or stick a cone on its heat. And here we are. Here's everything that's available in the Gallery of Modern Art. I asked if it was okay to film. They said aye. It's a wee bit difficult though, because a lot of people just keep walking past, and that's a Saturday afternoon, so it's busy. But yeah, let's have a look and see what we can get. Okay, so just got off the train at Maryhill, and it's a 20-minute walk from here down to the ground. Train from Glasgow Queen Street, £3.10 return. If you want to get a direct train that loops round the north side of Glasgow towards Annie's Land, they're unbelievably only 1 an hour, which I just find crazy for the biggest city in Scotland, you know. One of the biggest cities in the UK, I know, absolutely crazy. So I understand it a wee bit more up in Perthshire, where it's rural, but in the biggest city in Scotland. So yeah, this is it, this is Maryhill. Yeah, £2 buses have to started yet, eh? But it's only been a day though, that John Swinney won the election. So I mean, I don't know, how long we're going to wait for these £2 buses, you reckon? What do we reckon, 1 week? 1 month? 1 year? 1 decade? Here in Beauty Place there. Right, okay, so, yep, 20-minute walk, down to the ground, and I'll show you what we can all see on the way down. So I used to live in Annie's Land, so I know the area quite well, but it's been a while, Yeah, Maryhill Tavern shut down. So when I was saying that the trains are early to Maryhill, you can actually change at Annie's Land as well on other services. If you're getting the direct train, it's 15 minutes, and if you're changing at Annie's Land, it's 25 minutes. Now I'm pretty sure that there used to be a pub that was called like the Kelvin Dock or something like that, and that's all boarded up now, I know, Anyway, yeah, so it's a wee bit of a shame to see that this part of Maryhill, run by the railway station, or just doing for the railway station, is not doing so well, So, as we come down here, we get to Still Game territory. I assume everyone's seen Still Game, So, there's Osprey Heights, where the outshots of Jack and Victor's residential building was filmed. Of course, all the shots inside the house that would have been done in a studio, And this here, the docks. This is where quite a lot of Still Game was filmed. Quite a lot of scenes just filmed around here, Aye. That's one of the kind of cool things about Maryhill, film locations. Aye, so when we come down the main road a wee bit, we can actually walk along the canal, the Forth and Clyde Canal, down to the ground. The ground's not the way that I'm walking, it's the other way. Used to actually be able to like walk around here and all that, but I don't know what's going on. There's all sorts of work going on down here. No idea what it's all about. These houses they're new. That white house has always been there for as long as I've known. Look at this, Glasgow to Normandy. I'll have a wee read at that later, but yeah, pause the video if you want to have a read at that. Reason that I'm coming down this way is a viaduct to show you. Yeah, all sorts of mad work going on. But aye, that boozer up there, the old Kelvin Dock, real shame. And then the Maryhill Tavern further up. I think last time I was around here, like when I stayed here, it was like, when I stayed in Annie's Land rather, not Maryhill, when I stayed in Annie's Land, it was about 12 years ago. Gotta watch you for these cyclists. But yeah, I mean, obviously I've been back here a few times since, but I think I've actually had a proper wander around here since the lockdown. Because when the lockdown happened, I was still staying in Glasgow, staying down in the south of Glasgow. Yeah, don't worry, I'm not like a mad greenie or anything like that. I was staying in the south side of Glasgow. And when the lockdown happened, obviously, I was doing loads of walking and that, So, I think last time I was around here was about like 2020 or something like that, 2021. There's the old kind of gas, what do you call them, gas cylinders, whatever, just as you get into Annie's Land. But yeah, I mean, so here you've got like the canal, you can walk down into Annie's Land. When you get to Annie's Land, there's actually a boozer on the canal called the Lock 27, with outdoor seating and all that. Highly recommended. And and there's a Wetherspoons in the middle of Annie's Land as well. And then from here you can walk down into the centre of Maryhill where the ground is as well. And I'll be doing that in a little moment. Right, so just before I take the walk along the canal down to the centre of Maryhill, just to show you this. So this pathway down here leads down onto the River Kelvin. You can actually walk along here all the way down to the Botanic Gardens. Yeah, so as we can see, like loads of amazing walking around the Maryhill area. This is all pure garbage though. I don't know what is they're actually doing here. All this kind of fencing and that. Yeah, who knows, right. This is what I want to show you is before I walk along the canal for the remaining 10-15 minutes down to the ground. So this is the Union Canal. But down here is the River Kelvin. Hi there. There we are, the River Kelvin. So when you're walking down, if you do decide to walk down to Botanic Gardens from here, you're actually not walking along the river the whole way, you're just walking along it most of the way. But look at these old bridges. Hope you can see it. It's a bit hazy today, but look at that old railway viaduct there. The pillars remaining from it. There's another one further along as well. You can see two from here. But yeah, Glasgow, I mean, Glasgow's got like an amazing railway network, but it used to be better. There actually used to be signs here telling you all about these viaducts, these old, the remnants of these old viaducts. But it seems to have, much like the Maryhill Tavern and the Kelvin Docks pubs, they've kind of gone as well, you know. There we are, more signs here telling you where you can go. Cycling's decent around here as well, Maryhill Locks. Walk all the way to Falkirk if you wanted to, or to Bowling. But yeah, like all this here, like Maryhill Locks, this is only about 5 minutes down from the railway station. Got another 15 minutes. Got about another 15 minutes to walk to get into the centre of Maryhill, doing the canal. And because the trains are only hourly up this way, that's the direct trains, that is. Yeah, again, cutting it a wee bit fine for time, So yeah, I'll get you in the centre of Maryhill. Okay, so I've just come off the canal. This is us now in the centre of Maryhill. Right, so what do we have? Swimming pool. So let's turn that round there, right. So there's a swimming pool here in the centre of Maryhill. And we're right across the road from the ground. You can see the floodlights there. So yeah, the swimming pool, I used to use it quite a lot when I lived around here. It's effectively, it's a glorified bathtub, but it's there. It's got a sauna and that in it, steam room, that kind of thing. I'm actually surprised they haven't shut it down, to be honest with you, because in the other side of the city, in Denniston, that White Inch swimming pool, that shut down. I think it's been set on fire a couple of times actually, which is just an absolute disgrace, you know. Swimming pool's getting shut down. But I mean, in Scotland we sort of just put up with these kind of things, don't we? You know, sort of just accept it. Right, so yeah, centre of Maryhill, right. Ground's just there across the road. Harvey's Bar. Haven't been in it in years. I used to quite like it in there. Maryhill Borough Hall's here. Bookcase, punch bowl still there. Remember that pub. Maryhill, the centre of Maryhill doesn't seem to have changed. So this boozer here, this used to be like kind of just a typical sort of council estate sort of pub down here. And then it turned into like a gastro kind of place. Probably thinking that a lot of the Glasgow uni students would come up here, you know, because Queen Margaret Drive is only about, I don't know, a lot further, maybe about a 15-minute walk, 15-20 minute walk down this road. And I remember thinking at the time, it's like, are they going to make money having a kind of a gastro kind of swanky joint down here? What's it now then? What is it now? The what? The G2O bar and grill. Toilets for customers use only. It's always a red flag in it. Yeah. So there's your two boozers by the ground. The G2O. No idea what the G2O is like. Never been in it. I was only in it once years ago when it was something else. Harvey's though, decent bar. If you're coming to Maryhill, either go for a walk down the canal or go for a swim, go into Harvey's. That would be my recommendation. Right, so now that we're practically by the entrance, let's get into the ground and jump in to that away day spirit. Right, car parking, looks alright, Royal Mail, customer service, delivery office kind of thing. Yeah, the entrance. Yeah, so if you're coming by car, I mean, seems to be a good amount of spaces here, eh? Right, here we are. So of course, I'm laughing, right, because yet again I've come to a game where both teams wear the same colours. both wear red. Right, here we are, we're in the ground. Apparently there's a wee lounge in there. Used to be a bar actually, but they're not allowed to serve alcohol for whatever reason. But there's a wee lounge in there, so we'll have a wee look at that at half time. It's not changed much since the last time I was here. The reason I say that is back in the Lowland League days when Edinburgh City were in the Lowland League, I came here a few times to watch Edinburgh City play BSC Glasgow. That was a way back, like 2016, that kind of time, you know, before Open Goal got involved. Started mixed everything about. That's back in the days where BSC Glasgow played in the Lowland League. They actually played here and then they moved to the recreation ground, or whatever it's called now, in Alloa, so we got some sort of mad sponsorship name. Yeah, of course, Open Goal ceased to be. Open Goal Broomhill, that is, ceased to be. And BSC Glasgow reformed in the West of Scotland 4th Division. Yeah, so today it's Maryhill against Forth Wanderers. It's the West of Scotland 2nd Division. Right, that's tier number 8. Right, so Lowland League's 4, West of Scotland Premier's 5. Tier number 7. So 2 below the West of Scotland Premier, 3 below the Lowland League. That'll be Forth Wanderers in the black. They'll be wearing their away kit, surely. If I'm wrong, I'm not wrong. Pitch is looking alright. You know, I think the groundsman could head up to Tannadice, sort their pitch it, you know. Right. Right, Maryhill, we're about mid-table in the 2nd Division. West of Scotland second, Fourth Wanderers who are bottom. It's a dead game because it's the end of the season. Of course, the nicer weather comes when the season finishes. Scottish logic. It's taking a while to kick off. Got a few folk up there. Got a few folk over there and all. They've got cans of beer. Good on them if they do. Yeah, right, so game started, let's see what happens. 15 minutes in, 3-0 Maryhill, all one-sided. The Stockenfield Bridge opened 4 years ago. You can see the spire of it from here. It took me a wee while to notice it. £14 million it cost, it's just a bridge over the canal, eh? But it's pretty awesome. Take a wee look at that in a wee bit properly, eh, after the game. I heard apparently they were talking about having like a bit, it was going to be like a statue, like a big man holding it up. That was the original idea, like a big man pulling the bridge up. But they decided not to go with that. But yeah, had a wee look in there. There's a bar in there. You can get cans and that, bring it out if you want. Had a nice chat with the woman in there. She's from Bearsden. We were just chatting away about Maryhill and that. Really friendly. So yeah, enjoying myself so far. Yeah, 3-0 Maryhill. Probably go and have a wee look over there in a wee bit. Film a bit of the game through over there. Okay, we're 30 minutes in. Still 3-0 Maryhill. Not much has happened in the last 15 minutes. That's the casuals there, outside the ground behind that fence. Don't really ken what's going on there, eh? Don't know if they've been misbehaving or whatever. Tesco over there, some flats over there. I'm pretty sure you used to be able to see the Wynford flats for here, but they've been pulled down now, eh? But the whole casual thing, it's like, I mean, it's helped the game an awful lot in Scotland. I just wish they'd behave, eh? Because like I remember years ago, like at Johnston, they were a boring club. You know what I mean? Everyone just thought, I mean, they're just farmers and that. And they were a really boring club. Now they're far from boring. Now, I mean, it's one of the liveliest places you can go to in the whole of Scotland. And part of the reason for that is the casuals, eh? The casuals have like brought proper vibrancy to that club. And I mean, if they start misbehaving, they get kicked out and that. It's just, I mean, why do that, eh, Ken? Being back in Glasgow, brilliant. I mean, the thing about Glasgow is always a real vibrancy about the place. I've said that word twice now, eh? But it's always like a real sense of belonging, a real friendliness, a real sense of community in Glasgow, eh? So it's good to be back in Glasgow, like. Whoa. 30 minutes in, 3-0 Maryhill, it's raining, yeah. Penalty to Maryhill. Raining really heavy now. There we are, 4-0. Casuals there. Right, 4-0 Maryhill, coming up to half time. The beer over there, £3 a can. Beer Moretti, Tennant's, Guinness, all that kind of stuff. But 4-0 Maryhill now. Second half had just started. 4-0 Maryhill. So just having a bit of a think about other grounds today. Eh? So the one kind of thing I was thinking about when I was at my last game, Scone Thistle, Arbroath, Victoria. Actually, you walk around here enough, nice one. Was that Arbroath is one of these places I've never actually visited before, eh? But I always fancy going there to try these Arbroath Smokies like. But then if Arbroath Victoria are in the Midlands First Division, it's so much cheaper going to watch them, eh? Than it would be to watch Arbroath FC, who play in the Championship. I mean, to go to a Championship game is about £20 these days, eh? Absolute shanner, like. but Arbroath Fix, Scottish Midlands First Division, that must be about, I don't know, £6 or something. It was £6 to get in here, eh? So I'll be taking in an Arbroath Fix game at some point. Looking forward to that. Here we go. Oh, he's round the goalie. Oh, he couldn't control it. We'll be nice to him. We'll be nice to him, eh? But yeah, 4-0 Maryhill. Second half just started. Yeah, let's hope the second half is alright, eh? Right, okay, so we are now on the 60-minute update. It's 5-0 to Maryhill. But the biggest part of the update is this is not a dead rubber. I thought it was a dead rubber. I should have done a bit more research, to be honest. I'm a bad YouTuber, eh? But if Maryhill get a point, they're promoted to the West of Scotland First Division. I remember a few years ago when I was watching Canoe a lot. Like, Canoe got promoted from the East of Scotland First Division to the East of Scotland Premier. I think they did it as like the 4th place team, eh? But I mean, loads of teams get promoted, like, say. But yeah, I don't know if Maryhill finish 4th or 5th if they win this, which are going, obviously they're going to win it. They're 5-0 up, eh? But they're getting promoted, so it's not a dead rubber. Alright, how's it going?
Hi.
Yeah.
On the 4th.
Your 4th wanderers, he is. Alright. Well. Some are Maryhill, some are 4th. But yeah, anyway, 5-0. Maryhill get promoted if they get a draw. They're 5-0 up. So that's going to happen, eh? Yeah, sorry I got that wrong, folks, eh? It's okay, folks, so 80-minute update. Would be 75 minutes. I've been chatting away with a lot of folk. It's now 6-0 to Maryhill. Yeah, I've been having some good chats with folk in that, eh? Turns out so the Lowland League turns into Lowland League East and the Lowland League West for next season. But it's league reconstruction going on, which is like Triple H on steroids or something like that. So you only need to finish in the top 9 to get promoted up to the West of Scotland First Division, and there's no relegation. And then the same with the West of Scotland Premier up to the Lowland League. It's this crazy reconstruction going on. Like, Drumchapel United could get promoted because some other teams don't have a licence, and the league reconstruction stuff is just absolutely wild, eh? But what I might do is between the end of this match and the outro, I might actually look into it all and try and give a proper explanation on the outro, eh? It just depends on how much free time I've got. But yeah, I mean, if, you know, if Maryhill get a draw in this match and match it, they're 6-0 up in, and finish in the top 9, they've got promoted. So yeah, that's the update. We'll wait till the full-time whistle and see what the celebrations are like, eh? Right, so that's the game finished, 6-0 Maryhill. A lot of mad celebrations going on, they are going up. Crazy reconstruction. That lad there now. Oh, I thought he had the drum. Does he have a drum? He's just smashing his programme off the side wall. Right, he's making a bit of noise from it though. Bye, Maryhill promoted, fair enough. Yeah, league reconstruction, effectively Triple H and steroids. It's a bit mad. Bye, well done Maryhill, you know. Wonder if they'll come out and have a celebrate like Rangers got 1 point against Celtic, you know. A couple of years ago when Rangers ended up finishing like, I don't know, 5 points behind Celtic or something like that, and they got a point against Celtic, and then they came out and celebrated like they won the league. That might happen here, who knows. Maybe I'm just being far too hopeful. Look at that rain, Christ almighty. Got to walk back up to the railway station, eh? But yeah, Maryhill promoted. 6-0. Fair enough, fair play to Maryhill. Yeah, I'll try before the outro, I'll try and see if I can work out how this league reconstruction works. Sean McLaughlin, the chairman, I had to put a lot of kitten eyes on to get him. Right, okay, so you said you used to live in Maryhill?
Yes, well, Summerston, which is just behind the ground there.
It's practically Maryhill way.
I used to live there. I lived there for 4 or 5 years.
Right.
And just before I moved, because I was living in Cardonald now, just before I moved to Cardonald, that's when I got involved with the club. Talk about timing. But yeah, and that's been since 2019 now I've been with the club.
Right, cool. Yeah, good stuff then. What sort of things would you recommend that people do before and after the game, before they come to a game here at Maryhill? Probably a tough question. But yeah.
No, well, I mean, if they're coming to Lockburn for a game, if they like having a pre-match pint or a post-match pint, the Punch Bowl is the bar that I'd recommend everybody goes to. Great atmosphere. Fiona and her staff in there are brilliant. They're big supporters of the club. And then further down that way, there's places you could go for food like the Firehouse, places like that. And then we're only a stone throw away from Byers Road for other eateries.
It's cracking. You got the swimming baths across the road as well, eh?
Yeah, I mean, go in for a quick pre-match swim if you want, you know what I mean, or a post-match swim. But that's the thing about Maryhill as a place. There is so much to do, and I feel like where we are, we're a bit of a hidden gem because we're surrounded by everything that some people might not know we're here. And like you said, like somebody could be going to the swimming on a Saturday morning and not have anything to do on a Saturday afternoon, and they don't know that we're just across the road.
So tell me about the run-ins of the club then. What are the day-to-day run-ins like? Are you reliant on volunteers and that kind of thing?
All our committee are volunteers. I don't know how other committees work, but all our committees are volunteers. It's a volunteer role, but it's a full-time job, unfortunately. But if this club's going to stay where it is and keep going, then the work needs to be put in. It's never been a doubt of mine to come up here after a shift and finish at 5 and come up here and do a bit on the park or clean up the area. I mean, it's a mess right now, right enough, but I've just had a kid, so that's my excuse.
Oh right, congratulations!
Cheers, but we've got a group of volunteers that are on the committee. We've got a group of volunteers that are on the committee. Sorry, who work tirelessly and endlessly to get things done. Whether it's physical stuff like cleaning up, like working on the pitch, or whether it's admin stuff. And I think our admin group, like Craig and Yvonne and Aaron, I think they'll, like, I would say we're one of the best in terms of admin for a club. Like, nobody can touch us. Craig and Yvonne and Aaron are just so thorough with their work. So
congratulations on your promotion.
Thank you very much.
So just two final questions. How do you feel about next season?
Excited. Excited. Possibly should have been wrapped up long before today. Right. But that's football for you. I feel like a manager because that's all he says. Because that's football for you. But excited, buzzing. Some good trips next season away, which I'm looking forward to, and some good committees coming here next season, which is always I really like getting to talk to the other teams' committees. Got a good relationship with some of them, like Ashfield and Maybole, Forth actually. So it'll be good to meet some of the teams that we've not seen in a few years, and get talking to some of their committee. And just a final question, just out of interest, are you all you guys partying the night then? Well, it's our awards tonight, so the timing couldn't have been better for today's result and end result of promotion. So is that in the clubhouse here or there, or is that in the Borough Halls, or where's that? So over in the clubhouse there, it's just going to be the players in the committee just having something to eat and doing the awards privately, and then we'll see where the night takes us for here. Probably the Punch Bowl. Punch Bowl, right, okay. Well, thanks very much for having me, Sean, and good luck with the Bairn, and good luck with next season as well. Very much. Cheers for coming. Cheers, mate. Thank you very much. Cheers. Thanks. So after the match, I've come into Harvey's. It's not changed at all, but that's a good thing. That's positive. There's a bar there. Right, so it's got Heavily on tap, Tennant's on tap, Guinness on tap.
bottles of Menabrea, Nuki Brune. Nicer pints are about £4.40, tenants is probably, I don't know, £3.50, £4 or something. But yeah, I was saying at the start of the game, I was recommending come in here, come into Harvey's. But I was thinking, I was like, well, I've not actually been in here in like about 8 years myself, eh? It's dead campus changed, but it's not changed, it's still great. Bar staff great. Yeah, if you're coming to a Maryhill Juniors game, I highly recommend that you come in here. Eh? But you can also get cans of beer in the ground as well. £3 a can. They've got Tennent's, got Guinness, they've got Via Moretti. But yeah, Harvey's and the kind of the bar in the ground. Yeah, can't go wrong there. Eh? So I was saying that the trains are only hourly from Glasgow Queen Street to Maryhill, but if you do have to change at Anniesland, Wetherspoon's right across the road to the Anniesland railway station, so that's an option as well. Eh? There you go. Just in case you need to make a change at Anniesland, it's not the end of the world, you know. Okay, so that's that. So yeah, the outro, where to begin? Just give my thoughts on the ground. I really like how it sort of towers over the town centre of Maryhill. Kind of the way the floodlights have that kind of imposing sort of look. It gives it a real kind of sort of community kind of feel, you know. Like, this is the town centre, this is the ground. I absolutely love that. Ground's been there since the late 19th century. Maryhill have played there since then, so it's been there like a really long time. Before that, it was a curling club, Kelvin Dock Curling Club. So the pitch, it's like when you go in the ground, kind of like you probably notice the pitch is kind of sunken a little bit. It gives it a it's kind of different in that sense, you know, how you're sort of looking down onto the pitch. I mean, some people like that. I liked it. Some people maybe might not like it. It's just different though, you know, it just gives it that kind of, the ground has a bit of kind of originality to it that way, you know. Right, so interesting fact, if you walk for 20 minutes down Maryhill Road, to the opposite side of where the railway station is, you get to Queen Margaret Drive, and that's kind of like where the Botanic Gardens is, and that's like Glasgow Uni kind of territory. But right on the corner of Queen Margaret Drive and Maryhill Road, there's a pub which used to be called the Crosslands, but it's now called Brewhouse. It's Brewhouse now. But that's like really famous from like a scene in Trainspotting, a scene featuring Begbie, and that's a 20-minute walk from the ground. So the thing about like going to a Maryhill game, if you're walking down Maryhill Road, 20 minutes to Glasgow Uni territory, you got like a really famous kind of movie scene, and then if you walk 15 minutes up the way, you got the railway station, and then you got Osprey Heights, which is like Still Game fans will be into that, where a lot of Still Game was filmed and that kind of thing. So yeah, now I've given an interesting fact, it's just to kind of go into buses. So there's bus number 8, which you can get from the West End, like the Glasgow Uni territory. If you wanted to go there and then get a bus up to the ground, it's only a 20-minute walk, but if you wanted to get a bus, you can get the bus number 8. Yeah, so the railway station is a 15-minute walk away. That if anyone just wanted to get a bus from the town centre, as in the centre of Glasgow, that is the city centre, you can get a bus number 60 or a 61, and it'll go about every 5-10 minutes. How long did that journey take? I never actually looked into that, but just going off my head, it's probably about half an hour, I'd say. Actually, no, about 20 to 30 minutes. Yeah, get the 60 or the 61 up. And then after the ground, that goes up to like Maryhill, kind of up by Maryhill Station Way. Yeah, there's also a bus that goes between like Glasgow and Stirling. It goes a really, really long way. So like when it leaves Glasgow, it goes like past Maryhill. Then it goes through like Mulgai.
where the West Highland Way starts, and it goes through Balfron, is it? Balfron, and then to Stirling. That's the X10, you got that as well. So I mean, like, that's something about Maryhill Way. It's like buses are just fantastic there. It's like really, really good connections with trains and buses and that kind of thing. Oh yeah, that railway line. It's quite funny actually. The day after filming, ScotRail actually gave an announcement about like changes are going to be making to our timetables, and like the very top of it is, yeah, we're going to be putting more trains on a Saturday on that line between Glasgow and Anniesland. It goes via Maryhill. But yeah, that's another thing. Yeah, Anniesland, we've got about Anniesland Day. Like if you are changing trains at Anniesland going between Glasgow and Maryhill, Wetherspoons across the road via Anniesland Station, the Esquire House. Great, absolutely brilliant Wetherspoons, that one. It's got like a big sort of kind of picture of Glasgow up at the top. The top part of the bar as you come in. Yeah, it's called the Esquire House for interesting reasons. It used to be like when I was like before Wetherspoons built a pub there. The pub before that, there was a pub at the top called the Esquire House, and then you went down the stairs. As I'm sure you can imagine where this is going. But yeah, now it's a Wetherspoons. If you go down the stairs, you're just going to toilets. Yeah. Nothing so seedy anymore. Right, what else was I going to say? Yeah, pubs. So I was talking about Harvey's, great in there, but just a couple of doors up for that, it's the Punch Bowl. I've been told they support Maryhill FC. So I recommend going into the Punch Bowl. Even if you're not going to a game at Maryhill, just, I mean, they support the football team from the community, which is great sort of thing. I mean, if pubs should be doing. I mean, obviously not all pubs can do that because the economy has been absolutely destroyed by Westminster. But I mean, if pubs can do that, they should be doing that. But yeah, the Punch Bowl. I've actually not been in it, but I'll give it a try at some point. But yeah, what else? So I went over how to get there. Oh yeah, food. Yeah, there's a pie stand there. Oh yeah, and there's a large newsagent in the centre of Maryhill, 101, which you actually seen in the video. And if you're doing that 20-minute walk from Queen Margaret Drive to the ground, you actually pass a massive Tesco. I think that massive Tesco is maybe about a 5-10 minute walk from the ground, maybe 10 I'd say. It's one of these big kind of superstores. But yeah, I think that kind of covers everything. Is there anything else in my notes? Went over pubs, went over fun fact, food, shops, getting there, stuff about the ground. Yeah, that's pretty much everything. But yeah, I hope you all enjoyed it. Please give a like, a subscribe, comment. Really appreciate it. Thanks for everyone that's made donations. Look forward to doing the next one. And yeah, hope you all got something from it. Thanks very much.